Well, thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Justin Gehrts.
And I'm meteorologist Aaron White, and it's going to be a pretty interesting afternoon as we're going to be watching some showers and storms developing. I know there's an isolated chance that we'll see a couple in the next few hours, but it looks like the better chance is going to really arrive probably after dinner time.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking, especially like near and after sunset. But then once we get to about midnight or so, a lot of the energy for storms is going to be diminishing. So by that point, I think our severe weather risk is going to be going down. That said, can still have some rumble and thunder after that point for sure. But I know you've been watching it the past few days. I was off yesterday enjoying the nice weather. And then today,
although it was toasty yesterday.
Yeah, first 90th of the season. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But of course, we do have that severe weather potential to talk about. So that's why we have that 10 weather impact alert coming up for later on today into the first part of the night. We're going to say roughly 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. But as we mentioned, it's going to be mostly this evening and first part of the night. Some severe storms are a possibility from this. Looks like we're going to be mainly watching for some gusty winds out of those more robust thunderstorms. Now that said, there could be hail as a secondary threat, but the main threat is going to be the gusty winds. What you can do, just make sure you have that 10 TV app on your smartphone. Have those weather alerts turned on so that if your location does happen to have a severe thunderstorm warning go into place, you'll be all ready for it. All right, here's those severe weather threats coming up for today. Tornado threat is very, very low. Just the ingredients for that are not really in place, so not terribly concerned about that. But again, kind of that medium threat of some damaging winds. And then hail is a secondary threat. If we were to have any storms that produce hail, it looks like it would be mainly with the ones that may pop up this afternoon into the early evening, just because they'll be able to tap into more energy before the sun goes down, and we'll start to lose some of that just a little bit. Storm Prediction Center outlook does show much of the region in a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe storms. Some scattered activity is going to be possible with those severe storms potentially coming up later this afternoon into the evening hours. So here's your hour-by-hour forecast. As early as 3-4 o'clock, yes, there could be a couple little cells popping up, but I think the better opportunity is going to be the further into the evening we go. Here's 10 o'clock as we see this more organized band of thunderstorms ahead of the cold front. That'll keep trying to slide off toward the south and east. However, as it does so, it's going to be running out of some of that energy. So I think things are going to diminish as the evening turns into the overnight hours. Now, tomorrow, front passes, but we still have some lingering showers around. Here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Would not be at all surprised to see some spotty areas of rain still hanging on. Could be a few of those yet in the afternoon. Best chance is in the morning, but a few stragglers may be still happening after the lunch hour. Otherwise, we'll plan for a mainly cloudy sky throughout the entire day Wednesday, with pretty much nearly steady temperatures most of the day as well. However, Canadian high pressure chews away some of that moisture into Thursday, so our sky does turn mostly sunny. Throughout the day, it'll be cool-ish on Thursday, with highs around 70. But again, with some sunshine, it won't be all that bad. All right, here's a check of your 2 p.m. temperatures and feels like readings. Right now, 88 degrees in Columbus with a feels like of 90, 88 Circleville, 85 Newark, 84 Mount Vernon. So we have widespread 80s across central Ohio, with many of us having a heat index just a couple degrees above the actual temperature, thanks to the mugginess. Dew points are in the 60s in most spots. That is some fairly humid air, giving us a summer-like feel. Good news is, if you're not a big fan of this, they do drop a bit going into the end of the week here. So while we have dew points in the 60s today, they drop tomorrow into Thursday, so comfortable to pleasant conditions in that regard. This weekend, though, warm front lifts back to the north, ushers in warmer temperatures once again, but also more humid conditions, with those dew points rising back into the 60s, helping to fuel some occasional showers and thunderstorms over the holiday weekend. Wind gusts for today, maybe as high as 20, 25, perhaps even 30 miles an hour from time to time, so it is going to be breezy. That's actually not a bad thing just because it's so warm out there and so humid that having that breeze will take the edge off just a little bit. I also have a Clippers game coming up this evening. First pitch is at 7:05, keeping our fingers crossed that we can get through it without any storm activity. That said, there is going to be the opportunity for some areas of rain and a few thunderstorms, so if you are heading to the game tonight, stay weather aware, and if there is any call for any lightning procedures, make sure you follow directions from the crew there. All right, partly to mostly sunny skies for the afternoon. Some scattered storms eventually do pop up with highs around 90. Southwest winds of 10 to 20 gusting higher. Now, yesterday was our first 90-degree reading of the year so far, and we've been earlier than this year only 14 times on record, so this was an unusually early one. In fact, yesterday's first 90, the earliest one since 1991 when it happened on May 14th, so quite a while since we've had one this early in the season. Average first date for a 90 is June 10th, and the earliest on record, April 25th, 1915. So pretty early is a situation that can happen. All right, so weather impact alert coming up later on today into early tonight for the potential for some strong to severe storms with gusty winds. For tomorrow, some occasional showers, otherwise mainly cloudy. Cooler, highs only around 70. And notice, 66 to 70 for the temperatures tomorrow. Not much change going on. Do have a mostly sunny sky on Thursday, 49 to start off, 70 in the afternoon. Next weather system after this one approaches on Friday. As we get further into the day, rain becomes more likely, so it's going to be a wet end of the work week. Highs around 71. Some occasional showers and thunderstorms are around over the holiday weekend. I know there's a rain icon every single day, but it's not going to be raining all day, every day. There will be dry hours in there. As we get close, we'll have a better sense of the timing. 77 on Saturday, then up around 80 for Sunday into Memorial Day itself. So there is going to be another warm-up coming after this little downturn in temperatures, as of course you would expect now that we're past the middle of May here. So just kind of an active evening for us. We'll be watching for those areas of rain and thunderstorms going into the early overnight hours, but even tomorrow, not looking like the prettiest of days.
Yeah, I mean, not ideal, but at least the temperature is going to stay still pretty mild. I mean, we don't have upper 60s anymore. We got the low 70s in the forecast here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And as we are talking about that potential for some strong thunderstorms here today, I do want to mention something that just happened is there is now a severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued for northwestern Ohio. So it does not include us here in central and southern Ohio, but this is just kind of the beginnings of things getting a little bit more active, and that includes areas around Toledo, back into northeastern Indiana around Fort Wayne, and all the way up into southeastern Michigan for areas around Detroit. So likely going to see some storms flaring up around there, and then eventually that's going to kind of fill back into the south and west, and those storms are the ones that would be moving into central Ohio later on. Now we're talking about likely after 7 p.m., 8, 9, 10 p.m. time frame before things really start to wind down as we go towards midnight. So if we can take a look at weather main graphics here, looking at the severe thunderstorm watch, we're going to just show that here momentarily. There's another look at that. You can see again, it includes Toledo. It includes areas up to the north and west around Fort Wayne, Indiana, into parts of Michigan. So just going to be the beginnings of things here this afternoon.
Yeah, sign that things are starting to show some signs of increasing activity as we go throughout the next little while. But again, for us right now, there's nothing happening as far as any storminess. But yeah, up to the northwest, as you mentioned, that severe thunderstorm watch now in effect until 7 o'clock this evening.
Yeah, so we'll be watching that, of course, and watching our storms later on today. But moving on from our stormy forecast to some aftermath of storms last night, we'll start out in Nebraska, where a likely tornado caused severe damage in Howard County. Scenes here showing damaged cars and what remains of a home and just lots of debris after that storm moved through.
Yeah, then over in Michigan, this video shows a daycare that was damaged in Berry County. The sheriff there said no one was hurt after a portion of the overlayment on the Lakewood Early Childhood Center's roof came off during a severe thunderstorm on Monday afternoon. The sheriff said the damage was centered around the administrative offices at the back of the building.
And then to more damage, this over in Kingsley, Iowa, where severe storms damaged buildings, knocking over trees and taking out some power. Cleanup remains underway this afternoon.
Yeah, quite a mess out there. And with more on those cleanup efforts in Iowa, Taylor Deckert reports from Sioux City.
You could see just the black wall of dust coming across the field.
Kent Rupke and his wife were like many in Salix, Iowa on Monday, picking up their yard after taking cover in their basement Sunday night. It was around 8 p.m. when a reported tornado went by his property.
Extremely quick. I went from just watching TV, vegging out, to drag them out of the kennel and into the basement. I don't know, 30 seconds. You could hear the trees breaking and hit the basement.
Rupke is grateful for life and being safe in the storm.
No blood, no foul, so it's just stuff.
The storm damaged his roof and shed, and it scattered debris across his yard. The city is providing a spot to dump debris. Load by load, Salix is coming back.
Pioneer Bank called and said we've got Pizza Ranch coming, so now we have Pizza Ranch for everybody.
Food was supplied to fuel the town to keep everyone moving while the power was out.
I'm not quite sure how many people we have in town, but I know there's a lot of mouths to feed.
It was all hands on deck of all ages.
We realized people are needing help, so we helped them, and then they helped us.
People with dump trailers going from house to house, picking up where they can, helping out their neighbors the best they can.
A good community. Everybody driving by is doing stuff. Everybody checks on everybody. And we had people checking on us. We were checking on others.
All right, turning now from severe weather to wildfires that remain raging across multiple parts of the country this afternoon, some even being fueled by winds from this large severe weather system that's coming through.
Yeah, that's right. We want to start off with the first view showing night aerials of the Sandy fire, which is in just a matter of hours exploded to more than 1,300 acres and no containment in parts of California. Evacuation orders were in effect for impacted residents, and warnings were posted as flames were spreading to nearby Los Angeles County.
Yeah, those nighttime shots just really remarkable. And down in Texas, the so-called Stinky Fire continues to burn as homes are lost in parts of Potter County. Evacuations, they remain in place at this time.
And with more on those conditions down in Texas, we turn now to Madison Fisher with CBS affiliate KFDA.
This is the Potter County Fire Station that is acting as the command center with Amarillo Fire Department and the Potter County Sheriff's Office stationed out here as these evacuations for 2 Deer Trail, White Trail Avenue, Bishop Estates, Eagle Tree, Quail Canyon, Bishop Ranches, Alta Vista Estates, Dripping Springs, Silver Point, Angus Trail, Kachina Drive, Dosh Drive, Whitetails Drive, and McKendree Trail are holding evacuations as of this morning. Now, there were also voluntary evacuations for residents near Bishop Hills on Monday evening, but those have since been lifted. Residents are able to go back to their homes as long as they check in with Potter County deputies. Now, we know that multiple homes have been impacted, with hundreds more being threatened. Now, at this time, officials say they don't know the extent of the damage while firefighting efforts continue. Now, Potter County Fire Rescue says the fires in Bishop Estates are devastating and have many crews working to save everything they can. All evacuees can go to the church at Quail Creek off of Tascosa Road or the church at Bushland. This is located at 1800 FM 2381. Now, Quail Creek Church is housing those evacuees. Now, the fire originated from the fire at the landfill, and due to high winds Monday afternoon, it quickly spread. Officials overnight say that they have made great progress with heavy equipment, with air resources making beneficial drops on Monday evening. Now, this fire is currently 2,500 acres and about 20% contained at this time. Now, RM 1061, that is Tascosa Road, remains closed from State Loop 335 to Bushland Road this morning. Xcel temporarily shut off power to Bishop Estates with several burned or down power line. Bishop Hills and Tascosa Hills have since been restored. Officials say they will let residents come home when it is safe, but they don't know when that will be. We will continue to provide you updates as they are available. Reporting, Madison Fisher, News Channel 10.
And with more on the fast-moving wildfire burning out of control in Simi Valley, California, here's CBS Chief Correspondent Matt Gutman.
That wind-driven brush fire erupted today in Simi Valley, about 40 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles, scorching over 700 acres and destroying several structures and forcing evacuations.
What do we bring? The essentials, just thought of my dog, all my stuff for my dog and my laptop for my work.
The fire sent a thick cloud of smoke over Simi Valley as schools in the area sheltered students in place due to dangerous air quality conditions. More than 500 firefighters are battling the blaze with helicopters and air tankers making water and retardant drops from above.
You can see firefighters have set up this hose just blasting what's still smoldering in this house. The house is completely gone. There are multiple cars in there that have been torched, but I want you to see where the fire came from. Right over this fence, into this valley, completely fire scarred.
Our number one priority is getting everyone evacuated in the front of the fire.
Firefighters have been throwing everything they have at this fire. That's a bulldozer that is trying to clear a fire line here. You can see right in that valley, smoke billowing up, flames starting to come out. They have been pounding this fire with the air assault for hours now. They hope that the wind subsides and they can finally get ahead of this fire. Matt Gutman, CBS News, Simi Valley, California.
All right, let's look at some new video into us here at 10 TV. First up, here's a way to beat the heat. Dogs participated in a dock diving competition in Maryland over the weekend. I love the dock diving video.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, that's so fun. The Hops on Dock 2026 Canine Dock Diving event took place Saturday and Sunday at the Big Truck Farm Brewery in Parkton. Organizers called it a high-energy 3-day dock diving competition, bringing together top canine athletes, pet lovers, and the local community for a weekend of entertainment, competition, and family-friendly fun.
Oh, some good pups there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what a good boy.
Just keep watching that.
Right? I could do that the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's so much fun.
Yeah, the event featured more than 60 dogs. They competed in events like Big Air, Speed Retrieve, and Extreme Vertical. My Corgi would fail at all of those, but he'd have a good time.
Yeah.
They were just spraying water. He'd try to bite it.
It's like the jump, just launching out to grab that.
Oh, man, that's good
so
stuff.
much fun.
And finally, check this out. When an Australian farmer, Rice Smoker, announced he'd found a live frog in a bag of lettuce, his housemates didn't believe him. He'd been preparing a steak and salad dinner on Saturday at home in Western Australia state, where he spotted what appeared to be a green tree frog among the leaves inside the sealed plastic bag he bought from the supermarket.
Yeah, his housemate said, he exclaimed, quote, "Oh, bro, there's a frog in the lettuce," end quote. And after showing off the frog, it's reported that they named it Greg before releasing it in the dam nearby the house, and just playing the song Crazy Frog.
Look at that, just blending
imagine,
right in there.
Yeah. Just like the quote, though, "Oh, bro, there's a frog in the lettuce. Oh, no."
Like, you guys didn't believe me.
Right.
The frog's like, what is going on?
Yeah, just on an adventure, just like, can we put me down here?
Yeah, well, actually, on my walk yesterday, there was a frog sitting next to one of the ponds and just kind of sunning itself a little bit, but able to jump back in once it got a little warm out there. So
cool off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, the dogs were cooling off a lot there. I mean, that was a good time for the weekend.
Well, it's wild to think, too, that a lot of pools are going to be opening pretty soon. We were out on Sunday up in Grandview Heights, and the pool over by Wyman Woods Park, we could see the lifeguards, I think, were getting training done and whatnot.
Sure, yeah,
so,
getting ready for the summer.
Yeah, already preparing for what I'm sure will be a busy season here coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it is almost Memorial Day weekend. That's usually the time a lot of those pools will be opening up, getting ready for the summer. So at least we got some warm temperatures in our forecast. I know we are cooling down a little bit here towards the end of the week, but still we got more 70s and 80s, so not bad.
Not bad at all. And if we want to, we can bring back up our weather graphics here and show you that severe thunderstorm watch that includes northwestern Ohio. That goes until 7 o'clock this evening. And as storms develop, I would not be at all surprised if this were to get expanded, or rather a new one would be issued farther south and east, again, assuming things evolve as we're expecting. But again, nothing really much going on right now. So, in fact, let's take a look at current radar as we see, yep, things are pretty quiet. But if you look up to southern Michigan, they are seeing some scattered thunderstorms beginning to pop up that direction. So that would be why that severe thunderstorm watch is in place for that area. But we'll start to see that that line fill in back into Indiana and eventually roll off toward the east over the coming hours, as those storms should be developing later on. But even in the mid part of the afternoon, wouldn't be surprised if we see some spotty, disorganized storms pop up. Of course, you have that kind of summer feel to the day, so would not be at all surprising if we did have a few of those pop up here or there.
Yeah, I mean, we got temperatures in the mid to upper 80s now. I think we're at 88 degrees, and we got the dew point right around the mid 60s, so it actually feels like 90 right now. So definitely that summer heat and humidity here this afternoon, and again, that could lead to a couple pop-up showers, maybe a thunderstorm, and then once that main line comes through with the cold front later on, we'll see a little bit more organized storm activity. But yeah, there you go. Mid to upper 80s. A few places actually feeling like 90, including Columbus and Athens, both at 90 degrees, the real feel.
Yeah, there's certainly going to be one of those steamy days once again. And as we at least go through tomorrow and Thursday, highs are back around 70. So some cooler temperatures, at least for a couple days before an unsettled weather pattern moves in. And if you're looking forward to Friday, it is going to be a wet one, I'm afraid, especially as we get further into the day. So if you had any Friday evening plans out and about, plan for there being some rain, because it's not looking too promising at this point.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the rainfall potential between now and Saturday, and we could actually see over an inch of rainfall for many across central Ohio. So coming up later on this afternoon, Chief Meteorologist Chris Tomer will be in to track the rain and also the storms later on this evening. So as always, until then, you can catch more news and weather online at 10tv.com.